What if you could hear proof, real undeniable proof, that it is not only possible to break free from the burnout and frustration of the broken traditional law business model, but that lawyers like you are already doing it? These lawyers who previously faced the same challenges as you, felt the same pressures as you, and experienced the same doubts as you have truly transformed their practices and their personal lives. How have they done it? By looking at things through a little different lens and plugging into a proven process that's dedicated and designed for purpose-driven professionals just like you. So in today's episode, I will share 3 real-life stories of lawyers who previously led similar lives to you, overwork, exhaustion, and the relentless pressure to keep up with a system that just doesn't serve them. But they found a way out. They used the powerful principles and time-tested tools of the new law business model to reclaim their lives, to rebuild their practices, and to finally love the way they're using their law degrees. And today you're going to learn exactly how they did it. So if you're anything like me and you love those how did they do it stories, this episode is for you. And by the end of this episode, you will not only walk away feeling inspired by what's possible, but you'll also have learned tangible lessons that you can apply to make changes in your own practice starting today. So if you've ever wondered whether there's another way to practice law or if true freedom and fulfillment are really within your reach, well, I'm here to tell you, absolutely. So let's dig deeper into these real-life stories. Now, before we begin, please allow me to welcome you to the New Law Podcast for entrepreneurial lawyers, where our mission is simple: to help you break free from the broken traditional law business model so that you can finally turn your own law practice into a business you absolutely love, with full control of your income, your impact, and yes, your calendar. I'm Allie Katz, and I've been in your shoes. I know exactly what it's like to feel trapped by the traditional legal system, and I know the pressure, the burnout, and the disillusionment that comes from working within a system that frankly just feels stacked against you. But I also know what it's like to break free. And more importantly, I know how to help other lawyers just like you to break free too. I've helped thousands of lawyers do it, and I'm excited to help you. So today we're going to go into details about 3 heart-centered humans who've taken back control of their own lives by aligning their law practices with their vision and their values. So before we dive into these inspiring stories, let's just take a moment to talk about what is transformation really? For many lawyers, it's not about working harder or taking on more clients. It is about working differently. Because here's the cold hard facts. A survey of 3,000 young lawyers aged 40 and under revealed that 20% are considering leaving the legal profession entirely within the next 5 years. And frankly, that seems low to me. But as that is, it's 1 in 5 lawyers walking away from the careers that they went to law school for, passed the bar for, maybe even once dreamed about having. And if that's not surprising enough, here are some other statistics that may be important for you to know. A survey conducted in New Jersey found that 28% of lawyers consider leaving the profession due to mental health issues, burnout, or stress. This survey highlighted that nearly half of the respondents reported moderate to high levels of burnout, with many feeling anxious or isolated. According to a report by the International Bar Association, more than 50% of young lawyers globally are likely to consider quitting their current job within the next 5 years. That number actually makes a lot more sense to me than the 20% number and reflects increasing pressures faced by junior talent in the legal industry. I didn't even have all of the pressures that lawyers graduating from law school have today, and I considered leaving the legal field altogether myself. So let's just stop and think about it for a moment. More than half of young lawyers aren't finding the fulfillment they deeply desire. And finally, a survey by the Florida State Bar revealed that nearly 60% of young lawyers expressed discouragement and were contemplating changing careers altogether. Many indicated that their legal careers did not meet their expectations, prompting thoughts of leaving the profession. And anecdotally, I'm in all sorts of lawyer groups where it seems that most lawyers are considering leaving the law altogether. And as I mentioned, I considered it, and in fact even did it. Really, for 2 years, I let my law degree lapse. So I made it through the other side, and I'm here to tell you today that there is another way. In fact, when you use your law degree in the right way, It is the most valuable asset you have, and you will be so glad you went to law school. The lawyers you'll hear about today did not solve their struggles by grinding harder. They made simple yet profound shifts that allowed them to achieve work-life balance, financial growth, and professional fulfillment, becoming the leaders that they wanted to be when they went to law school to begin with. And ultimately, that's what I found. When I did my soul-searching question of, do I really want to be a lawyer? Should I even be a lawyer? Should I be helping lawyers? What I came to is that as lawyers, when we're using our law degrees in the right way, with our hearts and a business model to support our hearts in a way that is win-win for us and our clients, well, there's nothing better. And we get to shift culture. We get to make a real difference in the world and make a great living and have plenty of time, energy, and attention to enjoy the money we're making. So let me introduce you to Stephanie Hahn. Before finding New Law Business Model, Stephanie felt as if she was spinning her wheels. She was taking on too many low-paying clients just to keep her practice afloat. Constantly overwhelmed by the sheer volume of work, the stress of staying above water left her questioning, can I sustain this practice or my sanity? Everything changed when Stephanie found New Law. She shifted her focus to estate planning. And that was one of the biggest keys, right? Because before that, she'd been taking whatever came in the door. And she couldn't focus. She felt overwhelmed, didn't feel as if she was an expert, and thought about giving up. But when she shifted her focus to estate planning and implemented our flat fee, help your clients choose their own fee, affordable premium model, it gave her a way to give her clients the clarity and empowered her to value her own time and expertise. And what's more is that it helped her finally get paid what she needs to deliver a truly impactful service. And the result? Well, Stephanie doubled her income, reduced her work hours, and for the first time in her career, had clarity about the value that she brought to her clients, control over her schedule, and the confidence to say no to cases that weren't aligned with her vision for her life or her practice. Gosh, I remember when I decided that I was not going to do litigation. There was no way I was going to be in another deposition until 11 o'clock at night. Don't you want that as well? Well, that's what Stephanie's story teaches us, that success starts with recognizing really where can you focus your energy and attention to amplify the value that you bring. And here's one of the most important parts. Making this shift does not happen on its own. That's why once you join the New Law community, we're going to hold your hand and show you exactly how to make these changes, how to focus your service on areas that align with your expertise and passions, specifically for serving families in a way that brings families together rather than in ways that rip them apart. You'll learn how to use our life and legacy planning model to help people make great decisions throughout their life, and you'll be there for their family when they can't be. And you will learn how to deliver this estate planning model in a way where you can't be competed with by cheap legal or DIY services. In fact, people want to hire you for your affordable premium fees that has them feel really confident that you're going to do a great job, and you'll have the service systems necessary to actually do a great job. You'll learn step-by-step strategies for creating your flat fee pricing model that benefits both you and your clients. If you've read my book, you've heard of affordable premium, where your clients are happy to pay premium fees, and yet you are still the most affordable solution for them, and you have a whole process for helping them to see that and choose their own fees along the way. And you'll see how to set boundaries that will protect your time and your energy and your attention so that you can focus on what truly matters in your life and in your practice in a way where your clients actually feel more taken care of. You don't have to figure this out alone. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. The tools, the templates, the techniques, the strategies, the technology, everything that Stephanie used to transform her practice, well, it's all waiting for you too. All you need to do is take the first step and say, yes, I want support. That brings us to story number 2. And I know what you're thinking. These stories sound so inspiring, Allie, but how do you actually make the leap? How do you turn a practice or a career that's draining you into one that actually works for you? Well, let's break it down together step by step, because I was certainly there myself. Remember, I was making a 6-figure paycheck. I was the breadwinner in my family. Everything was counting on me to bring home the bacon and fry it up in the pan. And my husband was staying at home, taking care of the kids, and did not have his own income. And so I had to ask these same questions as well. How can I leave the security of a six-figure paycheck when everybody's counting on me to be able to go into business for myself? So new law isn't just about concepts, right? It is about practical, proven tools that create real change that I first needed to create for myself and since have taught to thousands of lawyers. So here are 3 of the most transformative strategies that we teach in the new law community. The first one is the relational lawyer model. This model and this approach shifts your focus from transactions, one-off transactions, to relationships, where you have trust-based connections and a business model that inspires loyalty. Clients don't just hire you for a one-off single need. They see you as their trusted advisor for life. Now, you need a business model to support that, and that's what the new law model gives you. The relational model is a lifetime model of you being a trusted advisor with your pricing and packaging to support it. The second transformational system you need to be thinking about is the flat fee or affordable premium pricing framework. With it, you get to say goodbye to tracking your billable hours in 6-minute increments and hello to helping your clients choose their own fee. See, it's not just about flat fees. It's about fees that your clients choose for themselves so they feel empowered by the experience of working with you right from the very beginning. And so ultimately, they can choose what's best for them. It took me probably 20 lost clients who didn't say yes to working with me. Then clients who said yes to a $5,500 fee and canceled 2 weeks later, to finally hiring consultants to help me map out this pricing and packaging structure that today you get to use when you learn it for far less than those costs. And that brings us to number 3, and that is systematized operations. Imagine running your practice without feeling like you're spinning plates or juggling 5 balls all at once and trying to keep everything in the air. With efficient systems in place, you will free up your time, scale your efforts, and finally feel in control of your day-to-day. Because the system, it's a repeatable process that you can count on, that your clients can count on, that you can schedule your life and business around. And once you learn our systems, well, you can then improve upon them and make them your own. But don't reinvent the wheel. Build on what we've already created. And let me tell you about how Pam Moss Garrett did just that. Before new law, Pam was a litigator, deeply immersed in a cycle of endless court dates, starting off as a prosecutor, then moving into personal injury when she decided to start her own business. She really loved practicing law, but she did not love the constant tug of war between her personal life and business. She didn't love the long hours. She didn't love the high stress. She didn't love that she was thinking about having children and didn't see how she'd be able to do litigation and be the kind of mom she wanted to be. She wanted balance, but didn't know where to start. And then she discovered the tools and strategies that we had for her in New Law Business Model and decided to pivot her practice. At first, she was going to do both personal injury and estate planning, but when she learned life and legacy planning and our relational approach, well, Pam transformed everything. Today, 5 years later, Pam has a $1 million plus business, over 1.6 million fans on social media, brilliantly branded as Law Mother, appeared on the Drew Barrymore show, and here's an interesting fact, when Pam first started working with us, it was just her and her husband. Well, these days, she is also the mom of 2 beautiful little ones, and her husband is a stay-at-home dad, and we were able to guide her through those 2 successful maternity leaves. Now, you may be sitting there saying to yourself, how is all of that possible in just 5 years, Allie? Well, it's because Pam didn't reinvent the wheel. With our help, she's created a business that aligns with her values, allowing her to spend evenings and weekends with her family, and most importantly, really invest in her gifts, skills, and talents. When you go on social media and look for Law Mother, you'll see exactly what I mean. And she was able to do that because she wasn't trying to do it without a business to support her. She built her business first. Now, she's running her business instead of her practice running her. When Pam joined the New Law community, we held her hand. We guided her at every step. She used our templates, our tools, our technology, our website copy, everything that we had to streamline every aspect of her estate planning practice into a life and legacy planning business. So here's the big takeaway. Success isn't about working harder. It's about working smarter. It's about getting the right tools and strategies, building the systems, and not reinventing the wheel so that you can build from what already works, and as a result, serve your clients better and finally be able to focus on what matters most, both in your practice and your life. Now, tools and strategies are just one part of the equation. Up next, I want to share another story of transformation, one that proves it is never too late to make a change, no matter how long you've been practicing law. So stay right there and keep on listening. These stories, though, they're not just about the lawyers who have already made the change. They're about you. So I want you to take a minute before we get into story 3 to think about your own life, your own career. What could transformation look like if you finally took the first step? Imagine waking up each morning excited. Excited for your day. Looking at your calendar and thinking, wow, I crafted this calendar, and it is exactly how I want to be spending my day and my week. Imagine being excited to serve clients who truly value you. They're happy to pay you. Knowing that your time is spent on meaningful, purposeful relationships, not on the endless grind of transactional tasks or litigation matters, fighting with opposing counsel, or chasing down invoices that your clients don't want to pay. What would it mean to you to feel in control of your practice again? To have both professional success and the personal freedom that you deserve, where you feel truly fulfilled? So let me share the story of 𝗵𝗫𝗁, a lawyer who turned his turning point into a breakthrough. Before new law, David had been practicing law for years, but his practice felt more like a burden than a blessing. He was undercharging, as many lawyers do, feeling like he needed to take on every client just to keep the lights on. His schedule was overflowing with tasks that left him drained, and at the end of the day, he wondered, did I really make a difference? And he was working longer hours than ever before, missing out on precious moments with his family. Like so many lawyers, David felt stuck and wondered if this was all his career would ever be. But then he discovered new law, and he decided it was time to invest in himself and his future. By restructuring his services and implementing our life and legacy planning model and our pricing framework, he stopped trading his minutes for dollars and started earning what his expertise was truly worth, because he was providing true value to his clients. He shifted his focus to building relational, trust-based client connections, which ultimately led to the kind of satisfaction where his clients referred him to all of their friends, family, and colleagues. And within just a year, David had changed everything. He was making more money, reducing his work hours significantly, and the most important part, he was loving his life. He was loving being a lawyer again, spending evenings and weekends with his loved ones, or just by himself if he wanted, and finally remembering what he used to do when he wasn't working. Most importantly, David stopped taking on any of those litigation matters that he hated so much. David's story is proof that no matter how long you've been practicing or how stuck you might feel, change is possible. When David joined the new law community, he didn't just gain access to tools and templates, but a roadmap for his own personal transformation and in his ability to support a community that really needs these services and to be supported by a community that really understands his journey. So here's what I want you to take away. Even if you are at a breaking point, even if you've been practicing for decades, even if you think it's never too late to make a change, even if you think that you are too new and you need to pay your dues, you actually don't. And you don't have to settle for the status quo. With the right guidance, you can create a practice that reflects your values, serves your clients at the highest level, and gives you the freedom to enjoy your life, and has you feel like you are the role model that you always dreamed of being for the people in your community. So here's the question that you should ask yourself right now. What is holding you back from taking that first step into using your law degree in a way that has you truly proud and happy to be a lawyer? If you've been listening this far, it is because deep down, you know that something needs to change. Maybe you've been feeling the weight of burnout, questioning how much longer you can keep going on. And the reality is, the lawyers you heard about today, they felt that same way too. They faced the same struggles, the same doubts, the same fears, but they found a way out, and so can you. And I did too. And the way that happened is that I was at a networking event and listening to a woman speak about her book on branding. Had nothing to do with the law, had nothing really to do even with starting your own business. But what I heard her say is that she loved her business. She worked from home. She was able to be there for her son when he got home at the end of the day. She loved her clients. And I thought to myself, wait a minute, what is this thing that she's talking about? I want that. And as soon as I said that, as soon as I claimed it, as soon as I said I want that, the pieces, the breadcrumbs began to show up for how I could have it. I bought her book. I read it, and in the acknowledgments, I read about a coach that had helped her. And believe me, every part of my mind said, Alexis, that was my name back then, Alexis, you don't need no stinking coach. You're a lawyer. You went to law school. You're smart. You graduated first in your class. This coach isn't going to be able to help you. Gratefully, though, there was another part of me, I think it was my heart, that said, Alexis, you're not happy. You need to get help. You need to accept help. Talk to this coach. Become willing to pay her, even though I had never paid for anything like that before. Sure, law school I could pay for, but a coach? Something just for myself? Gratefully, I said yes. That was 20 years ago. And every single thing that I have learned since then has happened because I kept asking for help and receiving it every step of the way. And then taking that help that I received and feeding it back to others. So New Law, it's not just a theory. It's a proven process and a business model that I developed out of my own pain of being a lawyer in a way that didn't work for me or my clients. Today, it's helped thousands of lawyers transform their practices and reclaim their lives through finding work-life balance, getting paid what they need to deliver a truly meaningful service so they can have clients that they love, finally feeling fulfilled in the work that they do. New Law provides the tools, the training, and the support to make it happen for you. So here's your next step. Get instant access to my 15-minute video where I will show you exactly how to build a thriving practice that serves your life with estate planning, but not any old estate planning, what we call life and legacy planning, a relational model that you and your clients will love. Simply go to newlaw.co/grow, GROW. Go to newlaw.co/grow, GROW. But don't wait, because the sooner you take action, the sooner you're going to see results. And remember, tune in next time as I outline the 7 simple steps to start building the law practice and the life that you've always dreamed of. This particular episode is going to be packed with actionable insights, in fact, 7 simple steps that you'll want to take. So remember this, the change you're seeking starts with a single decision. The lawyers you heard about today took that step, and it was scary for them. Maybe they were skeptical, but it transformed everything, and now it's your turn. Take that step today, trust yourself, and know that I am here to guide you every step of the way. Until next time, keep moving forward because your best is yet to come.